Hi, I'm Mike Masato, CEO of Staff Driven Dental. Thanks for taking the time to visit staffdriven.com. What's going to follow is a testimonial video of some of the unique stories and experiences of my clients and doctors and staff. These are not actors and actresses, these are real people. They weren't paid to be on this video. They're sharing their stories because they want to share their experience about what it's like to get coaching, have someone come into their life, guide them, teach them the things that dental school didn't teach them, to be successful business people in practice.
So before Staff Driven Dental, our office, we were pretty much hitting a plateau, and it was very frustrating because I was working very hard, many hours, sometimes after hours, and I wasn't seeing any results and I wasn't getting any satisfaction from it. The morale in the office kind of suffered, and everyone just came to work almost because they had to, not because they wanted to. And I think it just kind of relayed on our patients too. I think patients weren't being as compliant.
Well, before my SSD coaching, we worked very hard, but we were disorganized and sort of haphazard. Things went as they went.
Do you want to have it take 6 months to make the changes you got to make, or do you want it to have it take 6 minutes? It's up to you.
Yeah, I had purchased the practice from a dentist who had passed away, and it was sort of like a home office, and it was a very antiquated practice. And I had a practice previously in Brooklyn for 30 years, and I just did it so I can relocate to my home. So the purpose I did it was to be closer to my family. And what we didn't realize was that the office, because it was a home office, the numbers really didn't add up to what I proposed the practice to be. So it was very stressful because the expenses that were coming out of the practice really weren't being paid by what we were producing at the practice. So we incurred a lot of debt. That's why we needed we employed Mike to come in and rework the whole practice.
That's the power of decision. All right, I made a decision. Let's just do it. Let's go for it.
Just 3 or 4 years of just the same production, the same collections. We just weren't moving. And I've been to other continuing education courses, and it just seemed like it was the same old thing, which is like you go to a course, they teach you something, and it's goodbye. And it was just like there was just no help, and it was hard to relate to anybody. And then when we found Staff Driven, at first I thought it was another get-rich-quick scheme, and then once I talked to Mike, it was more of like hands-on, and what was good about it was like he made sure that we were always held accountable for things. It wasn't just like, here, take my money, here's a big book of stuff to do, and goodbye.
We decided to get help because it was just a constant pattern. We were in a rut, and we needed to get out of the rut. So we decided to make a change for the positive.
I am glad that actually my boss decided to sign up with Staff Driven and actually has become a lifetime member by basically learning staff-driven ways. Both myself and my boss have been able to bring our practice to the level that it is today and provide the best quality of care to our patients.
A realization is something that becomes real to you that wasn't real before. And the hardest thing to look at is ourselves. When I talk about these topics, they're not easy to hear sometimes because we don't want to look at ourselves.
What sets Staff Driven Dental apart from other programs is that it is a comprehensive program, and also there's a lot of follow-through, meaning it's not just a 1 day or 2 days of seminars, it's a whole year of revisiting certain issues and learning those.
When you don't have a coach, or anyone coming in to help you run your practice, what usually happens is things become very lax. And all the systems are still there, but you'll find that most of the time they'll tend to get a little lazy here and get a little lazy there. So that, like I said before, I brought Mike back in to reboot this so that all these systems that we had and worked very, very well to grow a practice and to organize the help, the hygiene department, assistant department, front desk department, insurance department. By bringing Mike back in, it just reminds us of where we were and what we accomplished last time and where we're going.
We have tried we did try another type of company, and they weren't on top of us as much as Mike and his staff is. They weren't nearby, and they didn't call, they didn't come, they didn't have meetings with us as much as Mike does. The phone calls, just touching base with us every now and then, the emails. It just is very reassuring to know that there's somebody there to help you if need be.
I've tried other programs with different consultation groups. I even went out to California, and a lot of them were based on some principles that were somewhat objectionable. I think that with staff-driven dental, by having them come into the office frequently and being there hands-on, that has changed the practice dramatically, because they're working with you directly and coaching you along, and they take questions day and night.
I think that their personal relationship with the doctors and the team, being in the practice, and having those meetings when other offices get together and share their experiences. But coming to the practice and observing how the practices work, and finding specific things that work or don't work for those practices is very, very important.
Staff-driven dental, at first it was very difficult. The program does push you out of your comfort zone. It was definitely challenging, but very rewarding at the end.
Staff-driven, they don't just give you a binder and, say, or train the doctors and say, all right, now go implement. They come into your practice on a regular basis. They help you set the systems up. The coaches are always available to answer your questions. You can call them at any point in time. They become friends, the coaches. And then you go to these quarterly meetings with Mike, who is just funny and inspirational, and he's a really good motivational talker, and it's a great program.
The results in Sunflower Dental, we're using staff-driven, is really excellent. We're making a lot more money, and what I like, the staff is really driven. That's the name of the program, and it really motivates the staff, because people work hard and they make bonuses, and it's helping the staff too with their own personal life.
Some of the positive changes that are happening in the practice right now are just the growth. We have grown from a 2-doctor practice, which is pediatric dentistry and general dentistry, to also incorporating an orthodontist into the practice.
Our wins with the practice under staff-driven guidance has been truly the ability for our team to pull together and work for the common cause of the purpose of having staff driven with us, so that we can have a greater relationship with our patients and care for their dental care.
That's why it's so important to make sure that the best you possible shows up in that door every day.
I think the thing I like most in this whole experience has been that their philosophy has always been that we should stay true to ourselves, but just better, without compromising any of our morals or ethics or all those things, just going to the next level.
Mike and his coaches have been phenomenal in working with us and our staff in our office and helping us make all the changes that were necessary.
I like Mike and Michelle because they're personable. They came and I was comfortable right away with them. They never pushed me to do anything hard to do. Of course, they would always push me to do and come out of my comfort zone, but it also helped improve myself as a practice owner.
I think what sets staff-driven dental apart from other consulting programs is their personalized, customized approach to the problem specific to your practice. It's not a cookie cutter solution. It's not the same solution for everyone. They take a lot of time to assess your practice, analyze your practice, give you solutions to your practice, and then make sure that you're executing your practice. They are not, the last word I would use to describe staff-driven is lazy. They are far from that.
There are amazing things that are going on in my practice since we started Staff-Driven. We exceeded our goals monetarily that they put into place for us. So that was our great first big win. I've become a leader where I had a back seat and it was my own practice. I learned how to lead the practice. I learned how to, confront issues. I learned how to make it mine.
They're always available to you. So if you ever have any questions, you ever have any concerns, they're with you 100% of the way. It's not kind of like they hand you the book and tell you, off you go, good luck. They're always there to walk you through everything and make sure that you're hitting goals, hitting numbers. They have your staff and your business in mind at all times.
With Staff-Driven Dental, not only do you change personally, but also as an individual, but also as a staff member in the practice, you learn how to speak to patients better, you learn how to interact with patients and help guide them to presenting treatment plans and, of course, making collections grow.
If you're on the fence about hiring Staff-Driven Dental, I would tell you to just go for it. I don't think you'll be disappointed, not even 1%. But you definitely just have to jump in and do it to make the change.
You need someone to coach you, to help you. It's very difficult being so busy in your practice and trying to take care of patients.
Our office has turned around 100% and we've only been doing it for a month or two. And we've seen a huge increase in production, collection, morale, everything. Couldn't be happier.
The only thing I'm disappointed with, I should have done it probably about 25 years ago. But it's never too late, and we're going to go forward.
Staff-Driven Dental is different because they're local. They're always here. They're always willing to help. They're always willing to come in the office. A lot of the other programs are out of state. You have to travel to get to them, and that's really what makes Staff-Driven more office-friendly.
Most dentists would say, well, I have my reservations of investing any kind of money into it. Don't be afraid to do that because the money you put in, you will triple that in a short period of time. You will get back everything you want and then some.
Staff-driven works if you put in the effort and the time it takes to make it work.
I think staff-driven is very, very good. Mike and his staff is just very dedicated. They are very knowledgeable in the dental field. You can see they love what they do, and in that turn, they want to bring it on to other people to make them succeed. And if we succeed, they succeed. So it's a win-win.
If you're even thinking about the need for it, but you don't think you do have the need for it, you're wrong. If the thought has even crossed your mind a little bit that maybe you can benefit from it a little bit, you will benefit from it far more than you ever expected.
Go get it. Don't think twice, don't hesitate. We hesitated for a couple months and ended up hurting us a little more than we would have liked. And Staff-Driven's there for you guys, so go get it.
Go for it, because it really does make a big difference.
Staff-Driven Dental was the best investment we made for our practice. Definitely go for it.
Thank you for taking the time to watch this testimonial video to hear some of the amazing success stories of my clients and their teams. But now it's your turn. You need to decide if you want to get in action to help improve and grow your practice to take it to the maximum level of growth and development. If you're ready for that change in your practice and in your life, reach out to me. I'll be more than happy to take the time to spend doing a private consultation with you, come into your office, do a lunch and learn with the entire team, to explain more about what I do and how it will work for your specific practice and your specific practice goals and needs.